Hi YouTube buddies, Kohaku Creations. I am doing wine and dollies because I never do these things. I should be doing these like all the time. There's a little bug on the camera. That was weird. So I have so much to talk about. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is up and it's running, and so far people go to my shop and they look at my cute pretty little things and then they DM me and I've been making stuff. So I don't mind that though. Customs are so much fun to make. I just did like an avatar custom where I made the jackets for Mako, maybe that's his name, and then Tano, and I actually watched some of it while I was doing the jacket, so it was really cool. I'm probably gonna try to watch the whole series now. So that is done. My shop is up, and I bought some new materials. So I have the shiny pants that Iki wears. And Sarah loves them. I make them for Sarah. And I just made her like half silver, half blue. I just bought pink and purple and lime green. And then I also have like a hot pink and a mint. So, because I know a lot of people, they have like their pastel goth dollies. Or they have like their fairy kai. So I have like some pastel colors too. One of the things that I just don't even have it on me right now. But one of the things that I was gonna open in my store was I had a commission for a bunny jacket, and it was gonna be a commission, and then they were like, you know what? I can make this or I can make that. And I said, okay, let's do a trade. Let's just trade for it. Make this stuff for me and I'll make your sweater, and then when we're done, we'll just kind of swap and send on the same day, because I prefer when we do a trade that I tell you, okay, I'll have it sent Friday, and then Friday we trade tracking numbers, and then by, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have our items the same day. Or if not the same day, like you get yours and then I get mine, or, you know, vice versa, whatever. And it's fun that way, because then we get to like see each other's stuff. Like, it's like, oh, I sent this and you get to open it, but I get to open mine too. So that's how I like to do my trade. So I had traded this person this cute, adorable little fluffy bunny outfit, and it has a little star and a little bow and a little tail and a little bunny face, and like, I don't know what happened. I messaged, it's been like months, I messaged them and I was like, hey, do you have my end of the trade? And they're like, oh, I'm almost done with your end. And I was like, okay, well, you know, just let me know. And it's been a really long time, and I kind of went on their page to, I was going to hit her up again and ask, and I say her because I kind of feel like, okay, maybe I'm just saying things, but I just always think like a lot of the people on Instagram are girls unless they tell me otherwise. So if you just start talking to me, I'm going to just think you're a girl unless you're like, oh yeah, my name is, and then I'm like, oh, okay. You know, but she never gave me her name, so I only know her username. So I think you're a girl. Your pictures, you look like a girl. Anywho, so I was gonna hit her up again, and then I saw that her character already has like bunny ears and little bunny ear hat and stuff, and I was like, maybe she didn't want the jacket. But I have showed this jacket to a lot of my friends and a lot of my family, and everybody that I have shown this jacket to is like, that is a bomb jacket. Like, I want that. Like, can you make that in my size? So actually, you know what? Let me get the box and let me show you guys. You can enjoy my dollies. Is it this box? I have two different boxes, guys, so bear with me. Stuff's gonna fall. Stuff is gonna fall. I'm trying to keep my room clean, and it just gets harder and harder the bigger this dollhouse gets. Let me check this box. What's in that box? Is this the girl clothes or the boy clothes? This is the boy clothes, because this one is packed. I have more boy clothes than girl clothes, and I'm constantly making them stuff, which that I'm going to talk about too right now, because I made this bomb jacket that I'm just so proud of. and I'm gonna show you guys. But I think my thing is mostly hoodies. Like I cannot make, like I can make crop tops, and I can kind of make t-shirts, but the collar, I just can't get the collar right. If you have any tips on how to get that collar right, maybe I just sew another piece of material over it. If you have any tips for that, let me know. Okay, here it is. Look at this. My god, like, is that not the cutest little freaking bunny sweater ever? Like, they requested this, and I put the little snaps. Let me snap it closed. I put the little snaps on, and I'm learning, like, I learned how to do snaps, y'all. So I do snaps, and I can do zippers, and I'm learning to make pockets, because I have my shop open to do, like, basic things, but I'm not, like, 150% like in sewing, because a lot of my stuff is like self-taught. Like I taught myself. Look at this adorable little freaking sweater. Like, is that not the cutest freaking thing ever? I mean, yeah, I'd probably be cuter with some pockets. I might put like the little pockets right here where you can put your little hands in. But look at that sweater. Like, is that not the cutest freaking sweater ever? So I'm gonna put these up on my shop. And you can do the bunny ear, the slouchy bunny ear, or you can do like the kitty ear, or maybe like a puppy ear or something, and then I could put like another little, but I might keep it with the bunny because I think this is adorable. So I made this awesome sweater for somebody who I guess doesn't want it. I bugged you a couple times. If you watch this video and you decide, hey, I want that, hit me up, I still have it. But that's gonna go up in my shop. People are gonna, I'm gonna make those, and they're super fun to make. I mean, it did take me a minute because, I mean, there's a lot of detail, so it did take me a minute in cutting the detail and stuff. So I might charge maybe like, I want to say 40, because there's a lot of detail, a lot of work in it. It takes me almost half a day to make it. So yeah, have that one. And then I wanted to talk about this sweater. Oh my god. Look at this hoodie, you guys. I'm so like, I am in love with this hoodie. There's my Shotaro. This gorgeous man. Oh, he's so gorgeous. So when I first painted him, he was supposed to be, and this is supposed to be about the sweater, not him. But I'm going to talk about him anyway. When I first made, when I first got him, I was going to make him, because he's a stripe. And I saw him as this character that is just like, he's got kind of a smart mouth. He talks back. He kind of sees himself as an equal with Toma, because he's actually Yakuza, and so he's part of the Red Dragons. His Yakuza clan is the Red Dragons. So I love this hoodie. Like, I am in love with this hoodie, and especially for Shotaro. So when I first created him, he was supposed to be kind of like a little punk, a little, you know, sassy guy. And I did his face up. I did his face up like really dark. Like his eyes were, he had a lot of shadow around his eyes. Like his face was real dark. And then I posted a picture. And then I have friends that I role play. And then the more I role played him, I saw him as like super into cars and super into hip hop. And he's just like, the more I got to know his character and play with him, the more I was like, what are you doing with all that shadow on your face? Like, that's not you. So, my friend had given me tips on on face-ups. She was like, when you do face-ups, give them flaws. Give them something that makes them look more human. Well, I gave him a smirk because he's kind of an asshole. Let me pull this down and show you guys. Show you his bandana. His bandana is hiding his wig because this was my first, this is my first hot glue wig that I made, so you can kind of see some of the glue. So that's why he wears a bandana most of the time. Yes, I'm giving away my flaws. I'm giving away where I fucked up, guys. So, Shotaro, stop. So here you can see his face up better. And he slammed his face into Yuki the other night, so he kind of got scratched a little on his nose, so I might have to redo his face up again, which I'm like, no, why would you do that? Just bash your head into hers. So this is a face up I did, and I'm super proud of it. I gave him a more natural look because I was like, he's kind of hip hop, and I see hip hop boys, they're kind of clean cut. I also thought about maybe changing his hair, but I kind of love his hair the way it is. I love the asymmetricalness of his hair, how he's got it like longer on one side and then it's super, super short on the other side. And I really like that style, so I was like, no, he's going to keep the hair because that's what I like. I like that hair. I like him with the red because he's a dragon. But the detail in his face, like, so my birthday came, right? My sister asked me, like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, just give me some money so I can buy supplies for my Etsy shop. And she was like, all right. And then I was like, you know what? No, I want colored pencils. Like, watercolor pencils, because I always ask Sarah tips on face-ups because she's the freaking face-up queen. And she was telling me that when she does tattoos and stuff, she uses the watercolor pencils to kind of make the tattoos look more realistic. And I was like, I want to use them on face-ups. I want to make my face-ups look kind of more realistic. So my sister actually brought me some, like, last weekend. I think that's when I did his face-up. So it's been like a week. But look at that, like, look at that detail. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the detail, like, I was able to put like little lines in his lips, and his eyebrows actually look like freaking hair, which that was the thing that bugged me the most. Like, I would try to do the eyebrows to look like hair, but I was using acrylic, so the acrylics were, the brush, even my brush strokes were just really thick, and then it never came out the way I wanted, and so then I would just make it like a big line and then try to put a little bit of brush strokes in between to kind of make it look like hair. Fail. So yeah, like, I don't know, I'm in love with his face up. Like, I love his face up. His is the first face up I did with the color pencil, and I love it, and I'm in love with him. Like, when I first had him and he was kind of the jerk character, I was like, I don't know, if I do my dolly purge, Shotaro and Ryota will probably be the first two to go. And I still haven't bonded with Ryota, and I need him for my story, so I'm like, I'll use him in my story as far as I could take his character, and then I might just give him a face-up. Face-ups, like, are bonding. Face-ups, and when I make them clothes, that's bonding for me, or when I role play, that's all bonding. And I have done some role play with Ryota, but he's just not, it's just not clicking. It's not. So he's actually he could be on that block of goodbye. But the little rebel, Alexander, is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous doll. So I think it might just be his character because he's the cop and all my other characters are gangsters. So maybe I have like this gangster bond, like with my bandana. No, but maybe I just have like this bond with my gangsters because I feel like, you know, it's my gang. Maybe that's what it is, and he's supposed to be the enemy, and that's why it's not, the bonding isn't happening. So I'll take his character as far as I can. I'll give him a new face up, and I'll probably change his character later on in the story. But yeah, so Ryota was he's on there for if I really super duper have to sell a doll, which I'm getting pretty close because my car is just done. So Ryota would be one to go, and then Shotaro was also on there until I gave him this amazing face up, and now I'm like, show, you're too pretty for me to let you go. Plus, I love his character. He's just such an ass. Like, he's out there and he's a jerk, but he's got a good heart too. So yeah, it's my Shotaro, and he's actually single, ladies. He had a girlfriend for a minute, but she was Yakuza, and their gangs did not like each other, and so it was gonna start like a gang war, so they kind of had to just end things, which her gang is cool with the stripes, her girls party with the stripes and stuff, but they're not cool with the red dragons. So I'm like, show, you're both, buddy, you're just not cool. So yeah, So now he's single. And I did the story with Yuki, and that was a lot of fun. Go on my Instagram and you can read his story, because that was the first story I wrote for him. I mean, other than the one where he joins the Stripes and him and Toma kind of fight. And that's a part of Shotaro that... In that one, I was like, I didn't really like him. That didn't really portray... That just showed him as like a bad guy. And he was kind of a bad guy. The reason he went crazy with the Stripes like that was because his father died. His father is... He was the head of the Yakuza, and his father kind of like took him under his wing and was like, this is all yours, son, this gang, and you know, you have to do this, and it's all about honor of the Yakuza. And so he grew up like under his dad's wing, like his dad was his hero, but then his dad died, and when his father died, it was all on his hands to kind of take over and do things. And he was just like, I don't want to, like, he was like really upset. Like, he was just like, I grew up wanting to do this, but now I don't. I don't want to be Yakuza. I don't want responsibility. I just want to drive my cars and play my gangster music and smoke weed and hang out with my friends. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be the head of Yakuza. And then his mom is real pushy because she was not really in his life like his dad was. She was more like power hungry, so she kind of tries to run the Yakuza through him, so she's constantly demanding he do things. So he got really rebellious, and he just started a bunch of trouble, and one of the things he did was start trouble with Toma. And so then Toma was like, look, you little punk, I'm not gonna let this happen. So him and Toma had a fight. The Stripes kind of went in, took out half of the dragons, and Toma told him, like, look, you can be in my gang, and you can run the dragons for me, for the Stripes. You can do things for the dragons. I mean, you can make the dragons do things for the Stripes, or I'll just take you and all your men out. And Sho felt like, damn, I fucked up, but I owe it to my clan to at least, you know, not have the Stripes come in and destroy them like that. So Sho kind of feels like he betrayed his family, he screwed up. So now he's all about, like, I have to make things right. So he tries his best to be, like, a good leader. And he lets his mom kind of boss him around. I mean, he doesn't even call her mom. He calls her, like, ma'am. He's like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am. So she kind of does what he's told. But he's also still a Stripe. And he's also still kind of a troublemaker. And he's a freaking brat. Look at him. All dressed up. He's like my prince. That's what I look at him. I'm like, you're my little Yakuza prince. You're my little brat. So, that's kind of Shotaro's story. Not a wine and dollars. I'll do a story time where I kind of talk more about everything. And in my story time, I'll probably talk about, like, his girlfriend and stuff and where he's at now. So, beautiful face up, right? Beautiful hoodie, like hell yeah. So I'm gonna put these hoodies up, and I ran out of buttons for the side so it doesn't close, but I mean, you get the general idea. I'm gonna go buy some more of the snaps and I'm gonna complete it. But I am in love with this hoodie. Like, I love this hoodie, especially for Shotaro. It's so him. He's such my little Yakuza prince, and I love him, and he is not going anywhere now. Sorry ladies, but this boy will not be for sale. Also, while I was on that subject, I was like, you know what? Who else needs a face up? So, most of my face ups I do at night, and I think at night there's a lot of moisture in the air because Toma chipped also. Toma's face chipped and his nose chipped, and I know I play hard with Toma, and his nose probably chipped because I was writing photo stories where he's like making out with girls, and I try to press their faces close but not touch, but Miro dolls like to go bah, bah, bah. So yeah, poor Yuki, man. Everyone bashes their face into Yuki. So Toma bashed his face into Yuki and into Haru, but Haru's I gave her a new face up since then. So, and I just did it because I was like, I want to do something new with Haru. I want to just make her, because I didn't want to replace her. I was like, maybe I just need a new face up. Maybe I just need to play with her more. And actually, I got her new head in, and it's tan, and it does not look good on this body at all. I even put it on the body. It does not look good on the body. The neck hole is bigger. So I have to figure out how many centimeters for the neck hole, and then I have to find the body. And I don't want to buy the Bimong body. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, it's super beautiful. The dolls are super beautiful, but a full doll is like $800. I bought the head, but I can't afford the body, the Bimong body, unless I do like payments or something, and I have to fix my car, so that's gonna be on the back burner. Like, I have Haru's new sculpt. She's not gonna be using it for a while till I can afford it, and I'm gonna go see Sarah before I buy Haru a body. So maybe next year we'll see the new Haru, which is fine because I kind of plan to, some of my dolls are growing up, and I kind of plan to maybe replace their heads. But let's finish. So the next face up I wanted to talk about was Toma. And I made him look meaner because I was like, Toma is a mean guy. Toma's not. He's freaking gang leader, guys. Toma is not supposed to look pretty. He's not supposed to be a pretty guy. Like, he's a pretty man. He's fucking gorgeous. Look at this body. Like, hell yeah, look at that. But he is, originally he was a villain, and if you ask anybody, like, Toma's a bad guy. So I had to redo his face up because his nose had chipped, and I kind of wanted to do the color pencils to see what I could do, what kind of detail I could do on it. And so here he is, guys. And I freaking love, move your bangs, move your bangs. I freaking love this. And I gave him like dark, like red under the eyes, because I figured this boy does not sleep. He's always drunk. He's always fighting. He parties all the time. Like, he's not gonna look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like, he's got a little bit of distress under there, you know. He's got like bags under his eyes. He's freaking tired, but he keeps himself worn out. And the ladies, right? No. Yeah, he does. But, and then even his scars. I was like, you know, when you get a scar and it heals, it doesn't really look red, and it doesn't really look pink. It looks more like a whitish. I know because I did roller derby, and I have scars all over my body from hitting the concrete. So your scars are kind of whitish. So I added some white to the pink to make it more kind of like a old scar, because he got the scar from like when he was like 14. Was it 14 or 16? I think it was 16. I have to go back to everybody's story because it's like almost everyone's story. So I made his scar kind of whitish, and I am in love with this face up. Like, he looks mean. He looks like a total asshole. Even his grin, he looks like, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. But there's so much detail. Like, there's lines in his lips and his eyebrows, and I even put like some red lines under his eyes so it looks like little bags under there, and he's got little eyelashes. I am in love with this new like concept. It's not really a new concept because everybody else does it, but I watched so many face up like videos on YouTube, and I went and looked at all my senpais, and I like looked at their face ups that they do. And some people will post like, they'll post when they have the blushing, and then they'll post when they add, you know, different little things, like this is the pencil and this is the eyebrows and this is, and I love that because then it gives me ideas. So I kind of looked at what everyone else's dolls look like, seeing kind of how the detail in there, the shading, everything. I feel like I've already had this shading down because contouring is easy, and with Toma, I just love that he's got like this beautiful jawline. I was like, urgh. So I wanted to enhance that. So I enhanced it by doing some of the blushing like further up here, making it darker. And I make his face darker because I feel like with the contouring, it has to be a little dark. And his body's going to be blushed again because this is a newer head and this is an older body, so the head hasn't yellowed yet. So it's starting to. I mean, I'm starting to see it yellow a little bit, but it hasn't completely yet. I wonder maybe if I just stick it out in the sun. No, because I used the UV spray, the UV Protect spray. But yeah, there's my Toma. There's my gang leader. He's gorgeous. I almost don't want to put him down. I miss playing with him. I've been playing with everyone else. We'll get back to your story. He was Tomatsu for a minute, and I was just like, ugh, I don't like Tomatsu. Tomatsu is like his other personality, like his kind of like a secret identity. Like, he doesn't want his parents to know that he's a gangster. So he puts on this Tomatsu persona, and Tomatsu is like, he's like a quiet art student who just likes to draw and play guitar. And Yuki likes Tomatsu because Tomatsu kind of like lets her treat him however. Like, he kind of just doesn't give a shit, because Toma doesn't give a shit about bitches. But Yuki's family is rich, and Tomatsu's family is rich, and rich folks kind of have to hook up with rich folks. It's just like kind of the way they do it. And so Tomatsu is like the quiet art student, but because I mean, if he's loud and rowdy and the way he is when he's with the stripes, then it's going to be obvious it's the same guy. But if he's this really quiet, kind of sheltered, like stay in my room kind of guy, then no one's going to suspect, like, oh, look at this pretty rich boy. They kind of have the same scars, but you can't really put two and two together unless you're like digging deep into like their background and stuff. But no one really knows where Toma came from. He just kind of like popped out of nowhere. Even though when he was younger, he used to get into trouble. But his dad kind of covered it all up. His parents kept everything covered because they're rich people. They didn't want people to know they had a problem child. They were like, oh, we have a problem child. He's in a freaking gang. He's getting in trouble. Let's pay people to not say anything, get rid of his records, his files, and let's send him off to military school. So that's kind of how they did him. So here we go. And this is my favorite, one of my favorite ones that I've done. And Knight, why are you acting like that? Knight's body is being all crazy. Sorry, I changed them because I wanted to take some crew pictures, and I want to do some more. I want to do some more photo stories. Let's see. Come on, Knight. Knight is one of the dolls that I would probably redo his face, his head. Look at that face up. Like, okay, so Knight has grown. He's such a big boy now. And as I do them, I keep making their stripes smaller and smaller. And I feel like, because I don't want it to take away from their face. But, oh, I love Knight's face up. It's beautiful. This head has a lot of staining. Like, it's really dark around here, so I had to do a lot of shading in to try to get all that darkness out. I do think that he's getting older, and the older he gets, I might want to get him a new sculpt. Just his head at least, but the head I'm looking at is on a 65 centimeter body, so I might have to just replace his whole body and everything too. I'm not sure. Although this head was on a 68 centimeter when I got him, and it looks amazing on this resin sole body. Let me see. It looks amazing on this resin sole body. So, because Knight's supposed to be kind of emo, scrawny little emo boy. Toma used to pick on him. So, I've actually looked at Supia doll Jacob as older Knight. Don't know if this is going to happen. It's just something I've been looking at, and I was like, I like that sculpt, but I don't see that sculpt as a new character. I see him as like a grown-up Knight. So I might buy the head and see if it works with the body, and then if it doesn't, then, you know, replace the body too. But Knight is definitely one of those that I feel like he deserves a new sculpt, if anyone does. And I put his fur wig back on because I was like, I really like the wig that Cuppy Cake made for him, but they're kind of like the same wig. So I was like, well, why don't I just wait till this one is fully like to where I can't save it anymore. And then I was like, what if we gave Knight a new haircut? So I kind of want to give him like a not a mohawk, but like asymmetrical. I kind of just want to shave the side. That way I can shave the side and he can still show his stripes, you know? And this can all kind of fall over. Every time I give him a new face up, he gets more and more jewelry on him. I swear, you guys, he does. I'm gonna show his face up again because I'm really proud of this one. I really, really like this one. This is like the best face up Knight has ever had, and I'm really proud. I might put like where I started to where I am now and use Knight, but because I mean we did the BJD puberty one, and I used Knight's face. I used him for the puberty one because the face up before this, he looked older. Like you could just see it, like he's older now, and it's so weird that like your BJD like grows up. And I'm like, Knight, you're not a baby no more. You're my big boy. You're my handsome man now. You're all handsome. And I'm gonna write more on his story too because I feel like his story leads into 710. I can't tell you, but 710 and Kyohei meet Knight and Toma. And so I have to do that story. So I have to finish Knight's photo stories so that I can get to that one. And the photo stories, oh my gosh, like I write these photo stories and I post them on Instagram, and I get like the same people that are like, oh, I love this part, I love that part, I like this character, I want to see more of this character, oh my gosh, my heart, what's gonna happen next? And it's always like the same people. So then I post one where I was like, comments please, because if I don't have everyone's input, then I don't know if everyone's enjoying it, because I enjoy photo stories. But I'd like to know, like, what kind of stuff do you guys want to see more of? I definitely need to post more of 710 and 429. And the longer their story goes, the longer this story goes. And it's becoming a part where it's becoming where I'm like, I kind of want to change their story now. Originally there was going to be, because they have like alien DNA. I was going to make an alien because 710 is hunting down her father, who isn't really her father. He's just the scientist that helped create her. And he took off with the alien, and so she's hunting him, and 429 is hunting her, and they're both trying to get this alien. But I don't want to buy an alien. I don't want to buy another sculpt to make an alien. And I was thinking, because Sarah has the Nima sculpt, and the Nima sculpt has like her eyes are kind of big, and I kind of like that. I was like, ooh, that would be a cool, interesting alien, because she has the big eyes, and then I could use like the bright, colorful eye, like where it's solid black, but then like the iris is like a bright color, like red or pink or like even orange or yellow. I was thinking like, ooh, that would be kind of cool. But then I was like, do I really want to spend a couple $100 for an alien character? So then now I'm like, well, what if I don't want to buy an alien, but I kind of need that character in my story. So now I'm just like lost. I'm just like, what do I do? Do I just like go on eBay and look for a cheap legit? Because this is a touchy subject, but I will not buy a recast. No, I will not buy a recast. And if I did, it's because it was an accident and I didn't know, and that puppy is out the door. Because I am people neutral. I love everybody. I don't care what you own. I love you. But I will not buy a recast. I'm all about legit because my photo stories have to get out there. I'm gonna hashtag and I'm gonna post and I'm gonna put my stuff out there, and I feel like if you have a recast, then you're kind of like, you don't want to post, and it's not fair to post the company name. Like if I have a recast that's off of Doll Chateau, I can't post Doll Chateau because I didn't buy it from Doll Chateau. I bought it from freaking whoever the recaster was. So it's not fair to put it as a Doll Chateau. Even though that's the sculpt it's based off of, to me, I feel like I can't do that. I feel like it's not right. I feel like I'm a liar. And I know other people will do it because, you know, they're like, well, this is what the sculpt is based on and someone wants that sculpt. And I'm not 110% like, whatever you want to do, you do that. You do you. I do me, and then, you know, we don't do each other. No, I'm just kidding. That could happen. No, I'm just kidding. But basically, yeah, like, I do me, you do you, and, like, we can be buddies, and we don't, like, we don't tell each other what we think the other person should do. Like, I don't like people to tell me, oh, you should buy a recast. Because if you own recast, I'm not going to tell you, oh, you should buy a legit. Unless you're like, hey, I'm looking at this doll. And I'll be like, hey, have you thought about maybe looking at this one? Because there's super cool legits that are cheap. So you don't have to buy a recast. That's just my thing. I'm just probably going to stop the subject here because I don't want, like, I don't want any drama with that whole thing. And I've got a lot of videos where I'm like, you know, it's a fucking doll. Because it is. It's just a doll. At the end of the day, it's a doll. It's up to you what you want to buy. But for me, my own self, I do not want to own a recast. I would feel bad. I would feel bad for the dolly. I wouldn't be able to bond with it because secretly I would feel guilty that I own it. And I would not want any drama that follows that. I already have enough stuff where people are saying, like, my dolls are ugly or that I copy people. I don't give a fuck. But I don't want recast drama. I really don't. And I don't think it's right for people who are pro artists to tear down people that own recast because, yeah, you don't want to see recast in your feed. Yeah, you don't think it's cool that they own it. But tearing people down is not going to bring them to your side. Tearing people down is going to push them away. And to me, it's kind of like religion. Like, I have friends that are like, hey, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, you should be Jehovah's Witness. And I'm like, no, I'm not cool with that. And then they're like, well, because you're not, we can't be friends. And I'm like, we were friends for like 20 years until you joined this religion, and now we can't be friends. Like, just things like that. Like, that's kind of how I feel about and it's not just Jehovah's Witness, it's been all other religions where people, and I'm not going to get into religion either, but I'm just saying, like, that's what the subject reminds me of. It's touchy because, yeah, it's like a religion. Like, people that have recast, they try to recruit more people to have recast. People that have legits try to recruit people into having more legits, and then, like, they tear down each other. And don't tear each other down, man. I mean, I'm a pro artist. I am. I'm people neutral. I don't care if you have a recast. I won't buy a recast, but I don't care if you have one. We can be friends. We can talk dollies. Yeah. That's all I have on this subject. So, yeah. So, if I was to get the alien, that's where I was like, where did I go down that bunny trail? I chased that rabbit. Oh, Mr. Rabbit! So, if I was to get the alien would have to be legit. And I don't want to spend a couple hundred buying a doll that I'm gonna dye solid black, because that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna dye her solid black, and then I'm gonna paint her to have galaxy skin. And, yeah. And I thought maybe I could just buy like a giant Monster High and make that the alien, like the taller Monster Highs. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I will do that. I don't know if you can dye that plastic. I might have to paint it. That's a good idea. Why did I not think of that before? But either way, that's still like 50 bucks that you have to pay just to paint it black. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna think on that one for a minute. Gonna think on that. So my face ups and my photo stories and my Etsy shop and I can't think of anything else at the minute. That's how you know you're tired. At the moment, I can't think of anything else. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, guys. Haru's new sculpt, got that one in, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and I totally fangirled. I did a lot of giveaways. I been making clothes like crazy, and I love my shop, and I love my commissions because my commissions challenge me, and I like it. And my prices are like super low, and I know that I'm underselling myself. So I do commissions, and I usually, for a minute, I was doing like 10 bucks an item, but sometimes that item takes a little longer to make. So then I'm like, all right, so I'm working like 4 hours and I'm making like 10 bucks like for 4 hours. And so then you divide that, and then I'm like, I'm only making like $2.50, guys, an hour. This is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I gotta figure that out. Because I'm underpricing myself. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want deals, and tights for $10, and you know, tights for $8. And it's like, tights take a minute to make. Like, I'm not that fast. I'm not that skilled. I can't just bust shit out. Like, you have to cut it, you have to sew it all together. It takes a minute to do that, and I'm not gonna be working $2.50 an hour for like a freaking jacket. Like, those Avatar jackets took me 2 days. 2 days, like, because I've never done that kind of work, so it took me a minute. Stuff like that is not gonna be cheap anymore. I'm underpricing myself, and I was talking to Miki, and I was like, Miki, I think I'm undercharging people, and I told her the prices I was charging, and she was like, girl, I had some custom stuff made, and I paid this much for each item, and you charged her that price for 2 items. And I was like, damn. So I've got to figure out my pricing, because on my shop, the stuff that I have up there is stuff that's already made, so that price is fine. But my custom order prices have to go up because I'm underselling. I made a dress that took me like 3 hours to make, because I've never made a dress like that before. It took me 3 hours, and I charged her $15. So I made $5 an hour. I do hair. I can make up to like $15 an hour doing hair. So I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know. I think I'm underpricing myself. You guys let me know if you have a shop where you make custom things, and if you've seen my stuff, seen my work. Maybe my prices are good because maybe my work sucks. I'm still new, I don't know, but I feel like I'm doing a lot of work and seeing very little money. So let me know what you guys think on that subject. Like, for real, let me know. I also started making some wigs, and I don't have any on me because I kind of gave those away. I've been doing so many giveaways. I've been giving stuff away like left and right, and I need to stop. But I hit the 300 subscribers, and I had to like give to YouTube. And then I hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, and that one was so sudden. Like, I had 900, and I was like, all right, it's gonna be like a good month, so I'll do a giveaway when I hit 1,000. And then I had just finished making a commission for my giveaway for my 300 subscribers, and then I got hit with I got hit with 6,000 followers, and I was like, oh man. So I did a face up, and she sent me pictures of what she wanted, and I did the face up, and I got to use my color pencils, which I was super excited. And it was on a wind head. It was a white skinned wind head. And she's actually a YouTuber, so I'll put her stuff on there so you guys can follow her. Or you can follow her, or you can watch the opening of the wind head. But yeah, so I did that wind head, and I filmed myself doing it. And the first time I did it, I hated it. I did not like it. I put too much glitter on the eyes, and because she wanted glitter, so I did really pretty glitter on the lips, and I did glitter on the face, and then there was too much on the eyes. It was just too dark. It was just too much. So I redid it. So I cleared it off. I redid it. Tried to recycle the glitter. And actually, like, the second time I did it, I liked it better. I liked it a lot better. I did the eyes more natural, and then I did the glitter on bottom, because I felt like there was glitter on top, glitter on bottom. She looked like a drag queen. Not that there's anything wrong with drag queens if you're cool with that, but that was not the reference image she gave me. That was not what she was going for. So I couldn't send a drag queen if that's not what she wanted. I think she wanted kind of like a gothic, not a gothic, maybe gothic, but this doll, it came out beautiful. Like, the lips were like a bluish, purplish glitter, and it was beautiful. So the top was natural, and the glitter was all on the bottom half, and I loved it. I sent it to her. She seemed to love it. She was like, I'm not even sure if I was gonna get a body for it, but after I saw her, I loved her, and I have to get her a body now. So that's exciting. So I'll add her, I'll put the link to that video at the bottom of this one. And let me see. I was gonna travel. I was gonna take my car, and I was gonna travel, and I was gonna go see Sarah. And then my car broke down, and then my other car broke down, and so I was like, oh no, now I can't go see Sarah. And I was gonna go to North Carolina to go to the doll convention. I was gonna go with Sarah and with Matt, and now I don't think I can go. So I'm kind of bummed, but I still have like almost a month. So I mean, something could happen. I might sell a doll for that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to sell my babies, but I might have to. Or if not, I was like, if anything, if I really need money that bad, I'll sell my computer. I'll sell my electronics before I sell a doll. I know it sounds crazy, but to me, they're my babies. I can't sell them. I can't sell my babies. Even if they went to good homes, I'm not ready to part with them. And Sarah did the doll binge thing, and Sarah's like, oh yeah, you have like 15 dolls, just get rid of some. It'll be fine. And I'm like, for you it's easy, for you it is, but for me it's not. Like, I have a lot of kids already, so it would be like saying, oh, you got 4 kids, sell 2. No, they're my babies. That's how I feel about my dolls. They're my babies too. So it's not like I can just sell them. So, I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 that I have. No, there's just Ryota that I haven't bonded with. I'm sorry, babe. I haven't bonded with Ryota. And I already said why. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have a chance. So I'll try to bond with him. Yeah, that's all I could really think of. I'm getting sleepy now. It's late here. I'm tired. I want to upload these videos, and I want to do a story time for Shotaro. And I think, is that the only character? Oh, I need to do a story time for Yuki. And eventually I'll get to Ryota's, but I'm still learning his character. All I know is he's a detective. He is all about work. He has no life. He's just work, work, work. Maybe that's why we don't bond. It's just work, work, work with that guy. And he's hunting Toma. So that's kind of where Ryota is right now. I have this whole background story of well, I'm not going to tell his background story. I'll save that for a story time. So, yeah. I plan to make more clothes for my dollies in my downtime between commissions. If it feels like you commission me and I'm posting pictures of my dolls and you feel like I'm not working on your custom, it's because I probably started and got burnt out. So I have to play with my dolls, and I have to play with my dolls between commissions because it calms me and it doesn't make it so stressed out. Because if I let my commissions feel like work, then they're not fun, and then it's just, I don't want to do it, and I don't want that to happen. So between commissions I take pictures of my dolls, or between my commissions I do something with my dolls, but I always have a deadline. I didn't meet my deadline this week, which was, I was like really angry. I had all these commissions lined up until Friday. I had these commissions lined up and I had been working on them all week. And my deadline was, my deadline was Sunday. Because Monday I was going to send them out. But I got sick. And then being sick put me behind a couple days. And then, like, I had that fever. I slept for 2 days. The fever went away. I started my commissions. And when I got into the commission, when I started her face up, that night I got a fever again. Like, the face up, I started it. But then I got a fever, like I started to feel dizzy, and like my fever came back. So I had to put the commission, or the face up aside. And I had to like lay down and sleep. And then when I woke up, I felt a little bit better. So then I finished the face up, and then I went back into commissions. And while I was doing the face up, because I spray, and then while it's spraying, I try to find something else to do. So while I was spraying, I was also cutting fabric for my other commission, because that's how I do things. I'm just like boom, boom, boom. I just try to bust everything out, get it all out, and get it home. I just got a commission for my Etsy shop for some tights and stuff, and I'm working on one for cats. I still call you cats, Parker. It's not cats anymore, it's Limeade Parade, but I always called you cats, so in my head it's still cats. So I'm working on one for Parker. I started that. I got first half done, and then I started to feel sick again. And I don't know, my sister's like, you probably need to go to the doctor because you're sick all the time. But I'm sick all the time because I live in a house with 9 children. We have extended family. There's 9 children here. Some of my videos you'll probably hear the kids in the background screaming and playing or crying. And kids are always sick. Kids are constantly sick, and then they get each other sick, and then they get the adults sick, and just when you feel like you're getting better, another kid gets sick again, and then it just starts over again. So I feel like I start to get better, and then I get sick, and then I start to get better, and then I get sick. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now with my whole health issues and my freaking car. So yeah. I spend a lot of time in my room because I get bad anxiety around all the children and the screaming. So I post a lot of stuff with my dollies because I'm in the room with them mostly. And my children hang out in here with me because they get kind of burnt out. So we all kind of hang out in here. But yeah, so I'm tired now. I'm probably going to go to bed. Thank you for coming to watch my wine and dollies, where mostly I just whined. That's what I think when it's wine and dollies, because I don't really drink wine when I do these. I should drink like a wine cooler or something next time. So wine and dollies, listen to Kohaku Wine and listen to her show you her dollies. That's kind of how I see wine and dollies. Thank you so much for coming again, and I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.